Hi, today we're going to be talking about common roofing issues and how to repair those. So roof leaks sometimes are very tricky to find and develop an idea of what's happening from. It could be a gutter issue, it could be a valley penetration, flashings. If you can, analyze it, see if there's a certain spot in your roof or your ceiling that's leaking. Try to prevent it from getting worse. You may have to go into the attic and see if you can see it from underneath. Then of course call us. We're able to then to get up there, analyze it, prevent more damage from occurring. It could need a lengthy repair. It could be a small repair. So we really won't know until we get out there, analyze it, and confirm what's actually failed. So shingle damage occurs obviously when you have heavy winds, hail, other storm events. Natural wear and tear can cause shingles to fail and come off of your roof. And so when that happens, you might see missing shingles on the field. When you're looking up at your house, you might see shingles in your yard. You need to call us out because we'll be able to then analyze what is causing the failure. Is it a shingle that just got damaged during a wind event or storm? Or is it actually an older shingle and we need to have more replacements done? So sometimes it could be a repair. Sometimes it could be a much larger item that needs to be addressed. Clogged gutters are a big deal. It can lead to a lot of issues within water draining around your home. The magnitude of water that you have in certain areas. You need to know how much water is coming off one side of your roof compared to another side. The way your downspouts are pouring into your yard to get that water away from your foundation. Foundation problems are very common around here, and drainage and water moisture is the #1 cause of that. And so always have your gutters cleaned out annually, at least once, if not twice a year. Granular loss is very common with asphalt shingles. It's basically the deterioration over time of the shingle getting hot, shingle getting cold, water coming down on it, rain, and over time it just takes some abrasions and slowly takes those granules off. Now after a heavy storm with hail, you might notice more granulars because that's causing much heavier impacts than normal rain. And so sometimes that's a sign of wear and tear, and sometimes that's a sign that you just had an event that occurred, and so it causes some granules to come off. Granular loss doesn't mean you need a new roof. It is a side effect of an aging roof that will cause problems down the road though. Flashing failures are very common to provide roof leaks. It's a common occurrence because over time that flashing gets weathered too much. Sometimes it curls up, sometimes it has a sealant around the edges of it that fails. And then once that fails, then there's nothing preventing water to getting behind that flashing. And there's a ton of flashings on your roof. There's flashings around the perimeter, there's flashings around the chimney, there's flashings where you have a siding transition to the roof deck, all kinds of areas. So the flashings play a really important role in their overall protection of your roof, but at the same time, they do need some wear and tear maintenance periodically, and sometimes they even need replaced. Wind damage around here in this area is very common. We get some really good thunderstorm lines that come through. Obviously the winds can get up to 80, 90 miles an hour, and that's not a tornado, this is straight line winds. And so your shingles take a lot of abuse, and sometimes they'll start to curl up, sometimes they'll get ripped off the house, sometimes you'll see them in the yard, and that's a side effect of those winds just ripping the shingles off. And so it's important to get something back on your roof as fast as possible, because behind that is either gonna be like an asphalt synthetic paper or some type of felt paper, and once that gets waterlogged, it goes straight down into your decking, and that's a sure side effect of where you're going to have water going into your attic and then eventually into your home. So attic ventilation is super important to your home's overall conditions. A lot of people think of attic ventilation in the summertime because when we get really hot here, you go up into your attic to change your air filter or do something and you go, wow, it's so hot up in here. But that's only one side of it. Attic ventilation is just as important in the wintertime. It needs to be a balanced attic at all times. The rule of thumb is you have a certain amount of intake and you need to have a matching side of exhaust. And so attic ventilation plays a critical component to the life of your shingle. Skylight leaks occur very commonly, especially in some of the older ones. There are multiple different lines of skylights. There's curbless skylights, there's skylights that sit onto a curb, and there's flashings on both of those. And over time, the flashing will just fail because it gets a lot of weather and a lot of wear and tear and rust out, or the sealant may fail. And so generally when we get a skylight call, we come out, we want to investigate to see if the glass is cracked or broken, or if there's the flashing itself, we can see some visible cracks. And any of that, we have to sometimes take the skylight off of the roof altogether to gain access. So skylight leaks are common, and sometimes they're very difficult to diagnose. And so that's where we will specialize, coming out and verifying what is the failure. Roof valleys are probably one of the most critical areas when you do a roof repair or roof replacement. It's where two slopes meet and conjoin, and you have to have a proper amount of underlayment or protective lining in the valleys that are able to withstand a lot of water coming onto them at one time. The way that you weave a valley, there's different techniques as far as that also. There's an open valley, there's a closed valley. And so when you do a valley on a re-roof, it's critical that that gets done properly and it's very sealed up to prevent any kind of water penetration. If you're considering an upgrade to your roof or need repairs, make sure and give us a call, 833-COOK-DFW, or look us up on the website, cookdfw.com.